blessed people. I wanted to address a trending topic that's been bothering me lately. And today it's kind of just been the icing on the cake or the pinnacle because it's Carnival Day today in Toronto. Today is Caribana Day. They've changed the name to the Caribbean Festival, but no one's calling it that because it's it was originally, I think it's run by the city now, but originally it was run by the Caribbean community. So it still is to some degree, but definitely the city has a hand in it. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. But the point is that there's a theme going on, a trending topic about body positivity, and this is in lieu of the idea that it's a trending to be thick thin. So there's women are like everything that this thing that's concerning to me is the media could put out any foolishness, and people will jump on the bandwagon. Like people will just like buy into it, not even questioning why they're doing this. And I just really believe it's a setup because based on what I've learned and how I was raised, the idea of eating 3 times a day and then even snacks in between was introduced to the community based on the idea that eating randomly was primitive. So they basically structured our whole existence to suit their needs. So people are kind of, I remember when I was a kid being not hungry at all, not being hungry. My mother telling me that I needed to eat, I had to eat. And I'm having to go through this whole thing about retraining my thinking, retraining my body, my mind to not eat when I'm not hungry. Like now that I've done the 40-day fast, there's times where like right now I haven't eaten. It's almost midday and I'm not hungry. I don't feel full. I don't feel like there's anything in my stomach or my system really because what I've been eating kind of goes through your system. But I had to get used to that feeling of not having food in me. I was so used to walking around with food in my system that it's kind of weird right now to feel to not have that. Anyway, I'm a little off topic. So the bottom line is that there's a lot of young people who are walking around, I want to say clinically obese. And I'm going to say that not because they're not beautiful. They are beautiful. And most of them are active. They can still dance, do sports and all that kind of stuff. But that's not even the point. We need to understand what fat cells are for. Fat cells is not just to store excess energy. Fat cell stores toxins. That's where that's where the toxins are stored when we eat any junk and MSG, anything that refined sugar, anything that we eat that's in excess creates fat cells, but also the toxins that we eat. That's why you sometimes will see people develop cellulite. So, and I learned this through some research that I did based on what my body's going through. Okay. For the first time this year, this has never happened before in Toronto. I don't know if Trinidad and Tobago's carnival is this way, but Toronto is having a topless group of masqueraders or performers today in the parade. Caribana used to always be for everyone, including family. You can bring your children. When I was a child, my parents used to go and they'd bring us and pack a little something, and it was on Yonge Street then. So you could basically sit in front of a storefront and watch the parade. Just like you would do with the Santa Claus parade or any other parade. You could sit in the storefront and just basically watch the parade go by, participate, buy some food, drinks, whatever, have a good time. How could this possibly be body positivity when it's soft porn? This is so not appropriate. It's just not appropriate. This is not body positivity. This is a lack of modesty and shame. It's a lack of shame and modesty. Our bodies are, especially for females, our bodies are meant to be intended as a gift to our husbands, not for the whole world to see. it doesn't make me feel any better about my history and what I've gone through. It just justifies how I was misled, really. I meant to post this yesterday, but I was just, when I found out, I was kind of like, my jaw just kind of was dropped open. I just could not believe that this is being permitted. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, and the city is, I guess, based on the Raptors win. A lot of things are geared to, like, Toronto is a pretty big focus today, and this past month, because it's been, they've kind of acknowledged this month as being Carnival month, from the beginning of July to this last weekend, because this is when the parade is basically, as I said, the pinnacle or the climax of the Carnival month, because it's the parade. Anyway, I'm posting this right now, anticipating that this is not going to go well. I just can't see how a bunch of women walking down the street topless, whether they're fit or not fit, is positive. Men are innately, men are visual creatures. They're visual. They're wired to be visual. So to have a whole bunch of men and women walking down the street, some of which will have no tops on, I don't see how this is a setup. And it's funny, when I was younger, every year we anticipated there'd be something that would go wrong, a shooting or something. So I'm going to ask you to pray for Toronto today, really. This is not good. Anyway, in the name of body positivity, I just can't believe that this person, this young lady is professing that this is why they're doing this. It has to be deeper than this. It has to be more. I would love to know, spiritually speaking, what the devil wants with our people in relation to, how much worse could it get, right? How much worse could it be? Then they're gonna, Toronto's Carnival already had a bad name, and that's why they kind of caged it off. They actually, out of all the parades that happen in Toronto, Caribana is the only one where they block off the participants from, like, you kind of basically, they invested money in putting up a fence so that you cannot interact with the paraders or the performers. But in every other country, they don't do that. Like, and they didn't do that before. Before, it was basically, once the parade kind of got going, you could kind of go in and dance with the parade, with the masqueraders. The only thing with that is that it ended up being like a free-for-all. Like, people paid money, like a lot of money, for their costumes, and it overshadows their performance and their costumes. So it's not really fair. Anyway, I'm saying this because I really would like you to remember Toronto in your prayers. I just can't see this being a good thing. And a side note, Pastor David Lynn is, the charges that were laid against him are not being dropped. They're using him as I believe they're using him as an example to try and intimidate Christians from speaking truth. This is not a good thing. One other thing I should say is that there are people talking about the mark of the beast, or the chip. We're talking about it on a live a couple days ago, and basically a YouTuber that I respect was saying that he anticipates the young people are going to run out and take the chip, and I'm praying. There's so much to pray for, guys. We need to pray about this. We know that the young people have been misled and lied to and programmed by the media, social media, television, to believe that what is happening right now is normal, and that heaven and hell either doesn't exist, or you can just pray yourself in there. And it's not going to happen that way. Once saved, always saved is not true. Anyway, this is just a check-in and an update about what's been going on, and I hope you are all doing well. And I pray that you are continue to hold your loved ones in your prayers, because that's the only, physically or with, badgering them with concern. Our concerns is not going to do it. The enemy has been very crafty in how he has manipulated people to believe this lie. Anyway, until next time, remember, I love you, and our Heavenly Father loves you so much more. Be blessed.